Before we start, please click subscribe and hit the bell icon for more content, and we'll keep you up to date as much as we can with upcoming videos. Hi and welcome to the third episode of Smithy's Garage. Today I'm just going to do a little bit of a review on the Trans Am, what we've been getting up to. So as you can see, this is a Pontiac Firebird. People that don't know it, but it's a well recognised car across the planet. It's a 6.6 V8 Pontiac 400 engine. Basically what we've done over the last, say, 5 years is we've changed the wheels, as you can see there. So we've had a custom wheel put on it and diamond cut, so all them have been CNC'd. It's an 18-inch wheel. It holds a 18 by 35 255 on the front tyre and 275 on the back. So the backs are obviously a little bit bigger than the front. The main thing that we've done with this, we haven't wanted to change too much with the car at all, because we really wanted to take it back to stock at any time that we felt like. It's a survivor car. It's only done 13,000 miles at this moment in time, and I'm trying to use it as much as possible. I know really people say you should really park up and do now, but at the end of the day, parking them up creates more hell than enough. Brake season up, other parts, weeping seals. It's a nightmare to leave a car sat. So we're trying to use it as much as possible. So by doing that, it's really brought the running costs down a little bit, because we're not replacing parts every 5 minutes. The brakes aren't seizing up, which we found out. We parked it up 2 summers and it was a nightmare. So what we've done, the back, we've put on a block, so it's like the old 60s and 70s, what they used to do to the Mark 1 Escorts. So they used to put like a 2-3 inch block between the leaf spring and the axle. Then they used to just clamp it down with a bigger clamp. So basically that's what we've done here. And I'll get up in the air and I'll show you what we've done on that side of it. The front is running on a coilover. It's a custom coilover to fit, because the original suspension on these are like Range Rover suspension. It's big massive coil spring with a shock through the middle, and the coil spring sits in a cup. So you'd think there'd be a lot of room under there, but there isn't. Here we go, my buddy's just turned up. Old regular to the garage. You should finish this review off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how are things?
Not bad.
You resigned? Yeah, getting back to it, we've just had Dave round, so I've cut the film. Right. Getting back to it. Right, front zone coilovers. The front runs a 9-inch wheel and the back runs a 12, or 11, 12. We've put coilovers on the front of it. As I was saying before, the springs on it were like Range Rovers. They're like 6 inches wide, and the shock goes through the middle of them. So what we done was we had to design a coilover to fit in that area. So we we had to shorten it quite a lot, put a stiffer spring on it, which we would have thought it would have made the car undrivable, because as you know, with British speed bumps and potholes, they're trash cars. All we seem to be doing on a regular basis is replacing ball joints, tracker rod arms, wishbones and drive shafts when it's extreme, shocks, shock mount tops, bearings, the full lot. We seem to be replacing it all. When we first ever put the coilovers on this, it actually blew the bottom of the foot out on one of the shocks, and it was quite beefed up and all. So what we had to do was obviously double it in size. It still takes a whack now, because I'll show you a bit of a video of the potholes that we've got in the UK, and this is after the council's fixed them. They're trashed. So on this at the minute, it has a subframe that runs from there and it's just attached to the bottom of the car. The strength actually comes through the wings, unlike modern cars that have frame rails and stuff. This doesn't. It just has a subframe that comes up here and goes right round all the way to the front. What happens is, as the car's going over speed bumps, the frame slightly moves like that, and it's got probably about ½ inch to an inch poly bushes in on the frame. So like I said, when it's going over bumps, you've still got that with the shock going up. So if you'd actually put your finger in the door, you'd feel the finger like it nipping at your finger, because there's that much movement. As its pros and cons, the car isn't as stiff, so it doesn't, if you took on a track, it wouldn't handle as good. But the pros are, in the UK, the potholes are horrendous. The council never get round to doing them. Their idea of fixing a pothole is half doing it or drawing a circle around it. That's it. That's why the roads are trashed. They're more interested in putting speed bumps in and traffic islands, which is pointless. They need to start fixing the roads. But anyway, get back to the car. So then poly bushes take the shock when it goes up and down. The pros with that, obvious potholes. The cons are, if you take on track, which you're never ever going to take this car on track. It's just that simple. Plus, if you take a look at the rear axle, it's a locked axle. So as soon as you try to take a corner or anything, the axle tries to push the front wheels forward instead of following. See, what happens is when you have a differential in it, as you turn in, say, left, that wheel will power the car around. Not in the case, both wheels try to push it forward. A bit like a go-kart when you were younger, when you pedal and you get full lock to the right, and it would literally push the front wheels forward. The thing about this and all is, you'd think that was all engine. The engine actually stops about here. So just over the axle. A lot of this is fan and radiator. So it has quite a bit of a decent crumple zone on it. But then you've got the solid frame underneath. The headlights, we've still left on the original bulbs. These are sealed units. So what I mean by that is, the whole glass itself is sealed. You can't take the bulb out the back. When the bulb goes, you've got to split the lens from the back. Like in America, you can literally just go out and buy a new one of these. In the UK, you can't. You've got to literally split the front off and resolder a new bulb in, which I've done 3 or 4 times. And a lot of the bulbs go out mainly because potholes, you go over a pothole, bang, goes out straight away. So that's a nightmare. Getting onto the bonnet. That bird is actually painted in. When I got the car, the bird that was on it was made of vinyl. So anytime that you polish the car, wash the car in any way, the little bits of vinyl would just start coming up, or the bit of the cloth had come away in the vinyl, and it always started to look tacky. So we got sick of it in the end. So what we done was, we just got it painted in, and it solved a hell of a lot of problems. The car's not immaculate at the moment because there's a lot of town dust that comes in, and there's a lot of building that's going on around the town, so a lot of it comes in on the car, so it's a nightmare to keep clean. So when it's a really nice day, I'll take it out, polish it and wash it, and basically get it spoiled a little bit. So what I'll do now is I'll take them T-tops out. What do you think? I'll take them T-tops out, drop the glass down, and I'll show you what it looks like without T-tops in. These were absolutely genius. I'll take T-top out now, and I'll show you how to take it out. There's a lever there and on that side. Do that now. There we go, 2 levers, boom, out. That's literally how fast it is to do. Oh, there we go. As you can see, it's all out. So I'll just get the keys for it, and I'll show you what I've done. Still on its original interior, and we've had a couple of splits in the joints just here. Hang on. So like here, you know where the stitching is, and it's a lot thinner. So we've had split in there, so we've had to take the seat out and put a fabric strip and then reseal it. So we're just trying to keep with the originals that are with the car. So I'll just show you what I've done here. See, these cars have only had 100 mile an hour on them. And the reason they done that was Jimmy Carter administration thought by leaving 100 mile an hour on the car, no one would exceed it to try and go faster than the clock was. But that was just stupid, because next year, like, everyone was having crashes. They're doing well over that, didn't know what speeds they were doing. So later on, eventually, they changed it back, so a lot of them had 160 back on them. As you can see on the rev counter, it only revs to 6, but really around about 5. A lot of its power is low down. Like, you're talking from 1000 RPM upwards. These aren't precise. Same with the mile per hours gauge on here. They're like literally 5 mile an hour out. So what I've done is put a set of digital. So I've got a lumbar, and I've got, so that's for your O2 sensor and your exhaust, so we can get the carb and keep an eye on it. Then this one we've got, hang on, I'll turn them on. That's your rev counter. So these are bang on, these two. And it's the only way I can keep on top of the carb. We get a little bit better fuel economy because we've tuned it off that. Because with these, you've got to use vacuum gauges. So there we go. That's it. So as you can see, we've got the Android in it. There's 10,000 watt stereo system, but most of the speakers are hidden. So, but it's all, hang on, because my fingers are a bit greasy. So it's all Android based. So you've got your Play Store. I've got the house cameras. I've got a 1 terabyte hard drive in it. It's actually rigged to the ignition on the car and the fuel system. We've put a fuel valve in it, so unless you put the code in on this, it won't start the car. And if you enter it in wrong, or you try and cut the wires, it sets off a silent alarm and basically sends a notification straight to my phone. So it is a good little system. It's just a little bit laggy. Like on hot days it can get really a little bit laggy. Then we've got the CB that everyone screams about, but in the UK no one's on him. When America there probably still is. So we've got that in. This car's got a hell of a lot of birds around it. So as you can see there, you've got that one, you've got the one on the steering, you've got the one there. You normally got the ones on the back pillars, but I've put my own logo on. You've got the bonnet. Right, let's start straight off gate. like I said, it's actually running bang on. You probably won't able to hear me on the mic because it distorts the hell out of it. So hang on, we'll give the car a bit of a run out now. Do a couple of drive-bys and that. I just thought I'd show you what we've got, and we're going to get out over the next couple of weeks, do a couple of videos of us out on the motorway and the back roads and just show you how it handles, and we'll do a little bit more to it over the next couple of weeks, hopefully, and get the RS out. There's a few more cars in the stable that I've had to pull out of storage because like storage fees are horrendous. So now the cars are sitting around the house, so we've got them on neighbours' drives, which I want to give a shout out to Bev and Courtney for taking the cars in. We've literally got them sat on 2 our neighbours' drives, so without them they'd probably get damaged in the car park out on the road. Our property isn't a big property, so we can't store that many. I know we've got 3 on the front and 2 in the garage. Then we've got the one in the car park and all and other places. So, but like I said, we're going to do a few more videos on them over the next couple of weeks. So just keep an eye out for the videos, keep subscribed, and we'll go from there.